Hello and welcome to the Anomaly Presents podcast, the podcast about the genre movies that inspired a genre film festival. That's the Anomaly Film Festival in beautiful Rochester, New York. Um, Hi everybody. I would,
Hello.
I would, for the folks listening at home, I will introduce everybody. We'll go around the horn here. We've got the podcastronauts here. I'm not going to spill the beans on what you're listening to yet, because it's going to be a doozy. So our podcastronauts tonight for this trilogy of terror, Megan Murphy.
Hey, I'm so excited to talk about this. I had to watch it alone. We all had to watch this alone. This is the first time we've looked into each other's eyes since experiencing this.
We are different people.
We're different people.
Dan Howell, welcome to the show. Welcome to the
Oh,
program.
thank you. I'm glad to be here for this live streamed therapy session.
And last but not least, Kristen Pelk Pacheco. Welcome.
Welcome something. I don't know. Barely surviving after this one.
So let's get into it. We watched Glenn Danzig's Verotika. Verotika. Verotika is the comic label, I guess, publisher that this film was based on. Glenn Danzig, if you're not aware, musician, occultist, kind of a horn dog, from what we've learned.
Kinda.
Kinda.
I didn't need a peek inside to what made him horny because I have questions.
A lot.
We all know.
A lot.
We all are very aware of what makes Glenn Danzig horny right now.
So let me take the temperature of the podcastronauts real quick. What was your on a scale of never heard of him to I celebrate his entire catalog? What is your familiarity with Glenn Danzig and his work?
Just what I've heard, I think, from you.
Oh,
You're the source.
Same.
boy,
It's
howdy.
your
Same.
fault. No,
This is
yes.
entirely my fault.
This episode could be subtitled "Reasons Why Matt Won't Pick Movies Anymore."
Oh, ooh.
Wow.
Ah, you
Wow.
have lots of privileges.
Shots fired.
Uh-huh.
So I will give the elevator speech about who Glenn Danzig is and why he inflicted this on us.
Yeah.
Glenn Danzig, famous punk rock singer, lead singer of the Misfits, the original Misfits. Then he started a band called Samhain. Yes, that is the way it's pronounced because Glenn Danzig is from Lodi, New Jersey. So it is Samhain and not Samhain. Then he started another band after that called Danzig, surprisingly enough. And also does some weird, like, synthy, Wagner-inspired classical music. He has been singing about collecting bones and playing in blood since 1977, I want to say. 1976, 77. And at one point, we all thought it was kind of kitschy and fun, and we thought he was just being, like, fun monster man. And then he came out with a label of comics called Verotika Comics, with some questionable erotic horror art, and then he decided to make a movie based on those short on those comics, and here we are. It's Verotika, y'all. Last thing I want to say is this was supposed to be the last movie that we all watched together for this podcast back in 2020.
Yes. Yeah.
We were supposed to get together
Yes. Oh
on
my God. Yes.
March 20th, 2020,
Holy crap.
to sit in a room together and watch this.
You know, we still paid the price though because
We did.
the last group film we watched was Cats.
Agreed.
That's true.
So-
That is true.
Agreed. But yeah, so my thought is that the universe tried to stop us from watching this movie.
We didn't learn.
And I disregarded the universe to bring this.
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
So listen, it's been 3 years. It's time.
It's time.
It's time. Yeah. It was our appointment. It's the whole Final Destination thing where, like, you can
Just
try
circle back
to
around again.
escape your fate, but fate will come back. Yeah, Verotika is our final destination.
It is.
That seems
It's
fair.
our log through the windshield.
This film is the proverbial log through your windshield.
What I
So-
love about doing this
Yikes.
live is we have Aaron in chat
Yes.
saying
Yes.
I am scared and absolutely cursed. So I like that, like, Aaron, you can interact with this without having to see it, and I think that's probably the best.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Here's the bad Aaron. Okay, quick spoiler, and you're not gonna like this. The second Glenn Danzig movie, look up who stars in it if you're afraid of us bringing Devin Sawa into this, because I didn't. Devin
he's
did.
in it.
And Aaron, I would never watch this movie ever. This is a no Aaron movie because literally eyeballs getting poked out
No. Yeah.
graphically
Yeah.
in the first 5 minutes.
I
90
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
But don't worry, that's not the Sawa one. The Sawa
No.
one is a Wild West vampire one, which here's the thing I really kind of want to see though. Anyway, okay, we
100%.
gotta
We'll
focus.
get there.
We get there,
We'll-
yeah.
We have enough to unpack on this one.
Let's
Yeah.
do that after we get through the three vignettes that make up Verotika. I guess that's the
Was it
best way
only
to start,
3?
right? Is
It was 3 and several strip club scenes where I was like, "Are we done yet?"
Yeah.
this, yeah.
Never
a lot of
mind.
strip. A lot of strip
I
club.
understand, Glenn. I get it.
Noted.
Got it.
You enjoy this establishment
This is
a lot.
one of the few films I can say that make Andy Sedaris films look understated.
Oh yeah, Andy
Um,
Sedaris is very classy
And
comparatively. Oh yeah,
Now, there's a
Ticket
double
to
feature.
Hawaii
Yeah.
is just subtle as shit.
Yeah.
Comparative.
In comparison.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Comparatively.
It's
yeah.
quaint. It's quaint in comparison.
So this first, after we meet for this woman that's like showing us the first way through, right after her, and we got the first story.
Yeah.
My question is can this woman? She has eyeballs for nipples. Can she
it's true.
see through them?
This is great.
Yeah.
This is a great question.
Right?
I do want to say we did skip over our very bored horror host introducing after gouging out the eyes of.
Oh.
Listen,
She hates
she
her
was-
job.
She was
Yeah.
bored the whole time. She said, "We're gonna take 5 minutes at the end of the movie," and I know we're jumping here, but she
Yeah.
said, "We're gonna take 5 minutes." Or she's like, "Okay, see ya," and then it just fades to black, and I'm like, "What the fuck are we?" I thought you were gonna inflict more on me, not just fall into the ether.
No, she's
she
like, I gotta
says-
take a
yeah.
nap.
There was
She
a-
Whatever.
says things in the tone of a pun and the rhythm of a pun, like it's wordplay, but it isn't. Like none of the words make sense.
No, it's
Why?
She's like,
Was it like
time
written
for the
in
next
another
speaker.
language,
yeah.
and then Google translated back into English?
or my favorite, and we can't blame her on this, is okay, so sometimes she's addressing us right through the camera. Makes sense. We're the audience, she's the horror host. Other
Yeah.
times she's looking about 2 inches
Yes!
to either side, but she's still talking to us.
Yes, I wrote that down. I'm like, is
Yeah.
she supposed to be looking at us, or maybe she's talking to somebody else? Maybe there's a ghost in my room and I don't even
Right?
realize it.
And I was
Oh,
like,
no.
did they just have 2 cameras and she just looked at the wrong one all the time?
Or
And they
Danzig's
just didn't use
like-
the other
yeah.
footage?
I'm thinking, or he hadn't made a decision about whether he wanted her looking in the camera or not, and then he ran out of time, so he
That's
had
fair.
to use all the shots he had.
I
Yeah.
propose a third solution
Ooh.
is that he pointed to her and said, "Watch me," and then just mouthed the words, and then she had to try to mouth them back while making eye contact at
I
Glenn.
mean, that makes as much sense.
Because
Yeah.
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 So yeah, the demeanor of
Morella.
our horror host who
Yeah.
gouges
was
the
a-
eyes out with all of the excitement of a person working TSA.
And like,
Um,
here's the thing: she's the host, right?
Yeah.
She's
The
like supposed to be
host.
terrifying and sexy, and you're supposed to, like, I assume, want to watch her, but like she is like styled in the lamest way, like 2 like little upside
Oh,
down crosses, just like with, I think, an eyeliner or something, and then tiny nub horns, and then a costume shop costume. I'm
If
like,
you-
if she's your person, just do it. Make her look cool. Damn it.
No, well, if you want to talk
Yeah.
about the costume, we're jumping all over the place here.
yeah.
But the Countess, okay? I literally
Ugh.
wrote the note. Did somebody did somebody take a knife to like that to make the veil and her like hand pieces?
Oh yeah.
So-
Yeah, they had
It was
one
just like,
fold
not
of
so
scissors.
fabric.
bad.
No,
It was
just
3 yards at Joanne's. Yeah.
laid it down on the table, not even flat, didn't like pin it or
Yeah.
anything, and just took like a steak knife to it.
No, that like you would be destroyed on the main stage of any reality show. Doesn't even have to be a sewing competition. Any of them, like The Bachelorette, they would have been like, no,
Yeah.
sweetie, you look terrible. This is a no go.
A
Where
cooking
did this gold
show.
lame?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
Could you
travel
imagine? Top shelf.
Survivor.
Yeah.
I'm for that. Oh, you know what? I love that. Yes. Welcome to chat, Celador. Yes, Big Horny Spider is coming.
Yes,
Oh.
that's
That's the perfect timing because now we got to move on to the first.
Yes, now we need to go back to the beginning of the movie. Here's the thing
Yes.
about that. Okay, first we still don't know if the nipple eyes, if she can see through them, but we're throwing that
Very
out.
curious.
let-
Does she just constantly look at fabric?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, let's
And
suppose
is
those
it
actually
is it
see.
both sets of eyes
Oh,
at the same
wait.
time?
I'm,
Like-
I'm seeing the vision. Follow me.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's good.
Okay, you know how they say pirates wear an eye patch so that when they went under the ship, they could see in the dark? Bam.
Hey.
Night vision, ready.
Oh, she's like,
How cool would this segment have been if she was like, "Go ahead, turn off the lights."
and I just
I'm ready.
so wish at the end, before she meets her demise with Horny Spider, there had just been, because it's so over the top, she had just pulled up her shirt and said, "Get a look at these, Michael."
Yes!
And then cut.
The weirdest thing. Okay, the weirdest thing. Okay,
We're
this
gonna
might
be
not
saying
the
that all
weirdest
night.
thing. The weird thing is
No
like
doubt.
the story introduces our main character, and at first you're like, "Oh, so her big thing is she has eyes for nipples," because that's the first thing. Oh no, she's making out with this guy, and he seems like he sucks, but apparently she's into him because she's really upset. She's like, "Oh no, don't take off my shirt! Don't take off my shirt!" He sees the boobs, and what he says is, instead of like a yell or like, "Oh my god," or he says, "Your tits are staring at me," and walks out like he's frustrated. So I don't know how to handle
Yeah.
that.
Well, considering this seems pretty normal for this world.
Right. But then like these nipple boobs, or no, the nipple eye, god, there's so much going on, right? Like it seems like such a like, it's not like she's special or like she's blessed or cursed. Like there's just like a separate thing, and then they cry on a spider and make it into a spider demon, but there's no explanation as to why, or has she lived her whole life with this? Did it just happen? Is it why? Yeah, and then the whys start. Why, Glenn?
And they don't stop.
Glenn, why?
That was the most
Why?
impressive thing to me. Yeah.
I'm not upset because sure, we would all love boob eyes. They're interesting. But I feel like they need a purpose, or is that me? Like, can they just be decorative? Is this a me problem?
They could be.
It did feel weird that there was like zero resolution about it, or like discussion. Everyone's like,
There was-
"Oh, we gotta be nice to her because she's got eyes for tits." Like,
The cops at the
but
end are
who
like,
doesn't, right?
"Oh,
yes,
huh. Wow, you don't see that every day."
No.
Jeepers
Right?
creepers.
and yeah, just so they're like,
Right?
look at her boobs. Like,
Yeah.
also she's dead, and was killed by a giant horny spider.
So
Maybe
spider-
that's what we focus on.
The thing about the spider is I saw the vision, Dreamweaver. I got it, but
Yeah.
like he's just like spider handling her face, I guess.
Yeah, what's her name? It's not Crepe Suzette. It's something.
If you held a gun to my name and say name
Uh.
one character in this movie, I'd be dead. Tell my mother I love her.
that's wild.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I know. And what kills me is I know what like they kept calling him the neck breaker, and I was like, is
The neck-
this a wrestling move? It's a finisher.
The neck breaker.
Neck breaker.
No.
Neck breaker.
Oh,
Because
okay.
that's how you know it's in France.
Matt. Okay.
Uh-huh.
We
Uh-huh,
discussed
yep,
this slightly off.
We did.
But I need an answer, and I feel
Yeah.
like you have
I do.
a theory. Why does this first story take place in France? Because I don't think any of these people are French, and I had to turn on closed captioning because I couldn't understand a damn word they were saying.
So I don't know why. I can tell you.
Oh, damn it.
I can tell you what Glenn Danzig said when he was asked.
Oh,
Glenn,
okay, yes.
Glenn,
Why?
Why do they all have French accents? He was asked this at the
Glenn.
premiere, and the answer in the Q&A was, well, because it takes place in Paris.
Oh God!
See, I was thinking French classy.
That was-
I get that vibe. Like,
Yeah, get that.
but I
that,
also was
Salvador.
like, French is supposed to be like sexy. Like, you know what I
I
mean?
think
Like that too. But you know,
So
that wasn't hidden, obviously.
here,
No.
I had to dig into what Danzig feels as a filmmaker. And by the way, just as an aside, we are in Twitch tonight, so we do have chat. So I'll probably refer to a couple things that are coming up in chat. I do want to acknowledge.
Thank you, chatters, for
Yes,
experiencing
thank
this with
you.
us.
Thank you for
Yes.
being here live to help us unpack
Witness
this.
us.
So Glenn Danzig, as a filmmaker, has three kind of lodestars. Mario Bava.
No, okay, I can see that. So many gels in this
We've got
movie.
Mario Bava is a big one. Sergio Leone
Okay.
and Jean Cocteau.
No, Matt, that's bullshit.
So
that's
now,
bullshit. I've seen some John Cat. No,
No.
you're saying this is his Le Belle and Bette. Are you
I've-
saying that?
No.
This is
Yeah.
his Orpheus?
Now I want you to think. I don't know if anybody was making notes or if you dissociated by this time.
Gone.
But when Dajette, which I
Oh,
believe that's her
You
name.
did.
I
You know
did it.
that's it. Thank you. Beautiful.
I looked it up.
Dajette. Yeah.
Good
I looked it
job.
up. When she walks into the movie theater, do you remember what the title of the movie is?
It wasn't Eyes Without a Face, but it was something like that.
It was not. And Eyes Without a Face is what?
French.
Yes. So that's yes. Yeah. So
Wait,
Exactly.
what am I proving? What's happening here?
I might be wrong here, but I believe that's a cocktail movie, isn't it?
What?
Eyes Without a Face?
No.
No,
Mm-mm.
Georges Franju.
But-
my
But
mistake.
It's pretty
But yeah.
French.
That's where he's going.
Mhm.
That's
That's
where he's
very
going.
French. Yeah.
So he's got all these European influences. So he's
oh my
trying to
God.
do his
So it had to be French because
His-
that's what art is.
his version of a cocktail of those
Oh.
like early. So this
Oh,
is what he
shit.
comes up with. and
You're
if-
right.
If you're gonna do a Danzig version of something classic like that and French like that, what else do you do but throw in a giant spider monster with a penchant for anal sex and a woman with eyes for nipples?
I hate how much this
Obviously.
makes sense.
Glenn
I hate
Danzig.
how much this makes sense.
I was amazed how much this movie made me wish I was watching After Blue again.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Wait. Okay. There's
So-
so much with that.
Yeah, After Blue is
Yeah.
actually going to be on Shudder this month. So if you want
Oh,
another
that's
shot
right.
at
I
it,
saw that. Yeah.
Here's the
I mean, I
thing.
don't. But
yes, thanks, Salvador.
Well, and the thing about After Blue that killed me when I saw it, like, you know, the screener and Adam's description, I was like, okay, French erotic Western science fiction. Well, this is going to be an experience, and I should have saved it for the morning, but I did not, and was just frantically sending messages to Vanessa, being like, "You wouldn't believe what I just watched."
What is
So maybe,
hilarious-
It is like and I mean this with love, but like is
Yeah,
Verotica
it's all love.
like, you know, the 25-cent version, and After
Yeah.
Blue is the, you know, very
Like-
expensive like steak
yeah.
dinner version.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know what's
yeah.
hilarious, KP, is Q Times, who is in the chat now. You felt compelled after you watched it to like text Vanessa. I texted Jake Q Times right after. I sent him a screenshot of like, look what I'm watching right now, and it was just the boobs. I think we
What
all
else would
felt
you
the
send?
need. we all felt the need, like, listen, I'm alone right now. I need someone to know what I'm experiencing right now in case something happens.
Yes.
In case, like, I go incommunicado, you know what happened. Someone will witness this.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, I just watched it with my 2 dogs, and I was like,
Yeah,
I
your
have one
husband was
wish-
not going to hear about that.
He's like, no.
Oh, no.
Good
No.
for him.
I waited till he
Someone
went to
has,
work.
yeah.
He's like,
"Do
I
not
gotta
put
work
this
for a
in
couple
my
hours. I
head."
was like, I have to watch a movie, so I'll do it while you're gone. He was like, probably for the best. And after that, he was like, did you watch it? What's your episode about? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't want to put this on you. One of us has to remain free.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
also, this was the movie the 2 dogs decided, like, we're going to nap through the whole thing. We're not going to ask to get up.
Aw.
We don't need
Yeah.
anything. We don't want to go out. I was like,
We don't want to
They-
save you.
can you please
Just
ask to go
anything.
outside so I can have a reason to
Wow.
pause this?
I will
Your
say
dogs did you
too.
dirty.
Your dogs are kind
After-
of creeps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little
After reading some of the comics today, like this afternoon, and it got to a point where I got to like issue 5 where I was like, we're skimming because I can't go to bed
Wow.
thinking about this.
No.
I was like, oh, it really makes sense that we had the spider guy because we needed a demon because that, like we were saying before, Meg, you said you looked into it, was like, yeah, there's usually a monster that pops up. So
Yeah.
we needed the monster fucker element at least in one of these 3 stories.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, absolutely a monster fucker. Not this way.
No.
No, not like this spider. No.
Well, and I'm thinking like, and I get it now after looking at the comics because I'm like, Spider, Black Widow, it writes itself. Okay, she lures men in, she kills that. We got it. It's sexy. She's in your dreams. You think you're having a good time. Death. Like
But what you just said makes more sense than this segment did.
Right. Because
Like
Yeah.
this is supposed to be what she wants, but there is nothing. She's not it goes after what? The person who's nice to her in the apartment, some random lady on the street. Like it has nothing
Yeah.
to do with Dajette. See, I remember the name.
Ah.
Like there's not even a hint of like, oh, I'm slightly annoyed. Like she never returned my plate. None of
Yeah.
it.
and it kills me because I think of it, as I was watching this too, I'm like, this has been done before and done not specifically like this, but I'm like,
Not
we've
quite
watched
like this.
oh,
Well,
if
no,
it had
but,
been
like, we
specifically
watched-
like this.
like I watched Hellraiser recently, like
Yeah.
the original when the new one came out
Mhm.
to
Yeah,
do like
yeah.
a double feature, and I was like, okay, that girl wanted dick so bad that she
Yeah.
was ready to lie, cheat, steal, murder for it. Okay,
Yeah.
she was not going to be stopped, but like you feel
Julie
it
is
in
a
that.
queen, everybody. Julie
Yeah,
is
you
a queen.
you feel it in that. Or I even
Yeah.
think of like when we watched Candyman, like the double feature, where
Mhm.
like that hypnotism, like that allure, like
yeah.
granted she was really being hypnotized, but I mean like that whole, is it a dream, what's happening, there's something, like he's very alluring to her as she committing these crimes. I'm like, we could have, it was there, you could have done it, it just
Yeah.
Yeah. So many times we've seen this story and done in a way that felt so much more satisfying. I mean, even as recently as Malignant, where it's like, this is a who did, I mean, and that was still
who done it.
pretty fucking bonkers.
Oh
So-
God, I
and-
love Malignant so freaking much.
And you're so
what
on
a
the
wild
money.
pitch. Yeah.
You're so on the money with that being the comparison, right? Because that was their tribute to Giallo to a certain extent,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then you had this, which I ostensibly is like a combination of French art and maybe Giallo. I think the next one is more Gialli adjacent, but
you know it's nuts. You know it's nuts.
Yeah.
This. So we are kind of ripping apart this segment, right? It is still the one that has the most narrative by
Yes.
far. It is
yeah.
almost
Yeah.
a story. It's so close to actually being a story. There's
So
actually
close.
a denouement and an ending. There's an ending.
So
Yeah, it's
Let's-
done.
before we go on to the next segment, things that I thought were kind of okay about this.
Oh yeah,
The
it was my favorite segment. I'll
The
tell you
creature
that right
work-
now.
the makeup work is actually kind of good. The spider guy, kind of cool. the nipples, while off-putting, they're off-putting because they're probably the most realistically could look, and that's kind of horrifying.
They
Um,
yes,
Yeah.
I did every time they were exposed. I did that. I was like, they're done
Why- and-
better than a lot of prosthetics.
Why
Yeah.
did we have to see them in the woman's hand at the end? I was like,
those were the
Make
eyes
it
she
look
took.
round.
She plucked out of the
oh, okay. 'cause
girl's head in the intro.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
get that. I
Yep.
definitely was
I was like, nipple eyes was like the
oh,
last thing I was
Yeah.
thinking of.
She
So,
kept
but
the
carry
nipple
on,
eye.
Matt.
Yeah. No,
that makes more sense.
come on, guys, pay attention. Pay attention.
Sorry, I mean,
I
she
could
was
barely-
so into taking
I
out
was
those women's
clinging
eyes.
to my sanity like grim death.
Oh, KP, I was watching this last night with you in my head, just going, "Oh God, oh God, oh God." So one of my favorite things about this segment is, well, number one, the A story and the B story barely touch each other,
Really.
because I think we've established that the eye nipples don't really do anything for the story at all. No,
No.
My-
No.
yeah,
Other than I have this idea and I'm gonna make it happen.
Like
Yeah.
she could have just cried on a spider and it would have worked just the same.
right.
As far as we know, the powers of this spider didn't come because they were boob eyes, unless your sadness is stored there and regular tears wouldn't do it.
Or they're trying to
Could
like
be.
set the precedence that this world is very weird, and so you know,
I mean,
you have eyes for nipples, and then now you know, of course, like the tears would make a spider person who wants to
Naturally.
go
Of course.
and kill people.
Of course.
Interesting. The spider is a projection of her head. Yeah, I could see that.
Oh
I could
yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
see that.
I can see that as maybe the idea he was going for. I don't think it
Yeah.
was presented as clearly as possible. Again, my favorite segment.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. One of my I'm kind of heading to the end of this segment just because there's one thing I want to call out and then
yeah.
if there's anything else we want to say about Dajette and Spider-Man, we can do so. Did anybody else really enjoy how nonplussed the police were when they walked in on
Wow,
the neckbreaker and Dajette?
Yeah, they really handled that a lot.
Yeah.
Like it happens every day.
Yeah.
Like they didn't just shoot a.
Yes.
I mean, I guess it's 6 armed and the legs count for 8. Like
Yeah.
white.
That's what I was going with. Yeah.
Completely nude monster.
Yeah. It was
They
very
rolled with it.
strange. Again,
Yeah.
they were like, well, and like they shot him like
they
a lot.
lit him up. Like,
Oh
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
They shot
And
a
then
lot.
like the one cop was like, okay, guys, that's enough. Like, I think we got him. And I was like, you think you got him? Like you just unloaded enough rounds to take out
this
a
was,
gang.
this
But
was
you were
not
like,
the first.
hope we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not the first monster they've run into.
They-
They
Yeah.
just
They were like, well, we got a call about another giant spider.
I need this movie more. I need the French police that are just like the pest control for the various monsters running around the catacombs. I think-
Somebody's eye, something's always crying on some
Yeah.
other thing and making a monster.
I want that. Al- Also, the other favorite part of this segment for me, that terrible photo shoot that she went
Oh my
to.
god.
What was
Also,
the
did she
point
get
of the
paid for
photo
that?
shoot?
I assume she got paid for it. I hope
Because she was like, nah,
that
I'm leaving.
that it looked like it took place in a container truck.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
no one seemed particularly, professional or doing a thing beyond. Well, no, there was that one lady with like the blonde, like Bob. She was always on,
Yeah.
even when the camera was not taking photos. So who the hell knows?
This was
What
the
hell
thing I
is
loved
happening
about
there.
the thing I loved about that part of the segment as it panned across. And like people are leaving, and then there's just the two models standing there,
Oh, this shot. Okay, yes, please.
just kind of
Mhm.
subtly voguing in the background to
Yeah,
nothing. Just
Are
like
we on camera still?
yeah. While the third one is in the foreground making a phone call. So these people just apropos of nothing aren't having a conversation like humans do. They're just going through their animations again to like
And our
Also,
sexy pose
Dejette
one,
is
sexy pose two.
watching the
On.
news.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best part is that
Yeah.
at this point, Dejette's gone. And I don't remember
yeah.
the very end of this scene. And this is one of my Danzig. I don't know if you know how movies work. So Focused on like her DeJet's friend thinking like, oh, I'm very, and that goes on for way too long, and then she gets blurry and it starts to focus on the back of the TV that's in the foreground for no reason, and then the scene just ends.
Just fin.
Yeah. What?
I was like,
what?
I thought, oh, something. Oh no, I think the camera just focused on something, and he said, "Fuck it."
He's like, I can't fix it now. I already did it.
What's
so
editing?
I had one shot to do this.
That was it.
Okay, and then like she leaves that, and she's like, I'm so tired, and then she's like, I can't fall asleep, so she goes to the movies.
Yeah,
she goes to the dark,
not fall
warm
asleep.
Theater. Yeah,
and goes to a porn theater, and she's like, why are they only having sex in this? And I was like, why? What did you think they were showing?
Maybe he like picked what was playing after. I don't know what was going on.
He's like, this is Danzig's tribute to Taxi Driver.
Stop making excuses for Danzig's editorial choices.
Also, you're giving him a lot of credit.
Too much. Considering everything else that follows.
His version of Taxi Driver in reality, though, like his pitch for doing a remake of Taxi Driver.
Travis Bickle is the hero and he gets the girl is the Danzig version of it.
Also, Travis is like 6 foot tall Amazon with latex and also a third eye and horns and is the daughter of hell.
Yeah. Well, that's the Sybil Shepherd character.
We should probably move on because the sad part is this is the one that has the most to talk about.
It's true. We're 30 minutes in and we have only gotten through the first of the trilogy of terror.
It's the richest one.
It really is.
Yeah. A lot of subtext.
So we'll move on. In the words of our horror hostess, let me see if I can find her name again.
Morella, like the mushroom.
Yeah, I think
their hair is all dyed, and she looks different. I have IMDb pulled up. And
he likes putting A at the end of words for his ladies.
Yeah.
There's like Satanica and Verotika and Morella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
He's a simple man and he knows what he likes.
And we all do now.
Yeah.
We all know what he likes.
So in the words of Morella, that's that, I guess. And we'll go on to change your face.
Yeah, I think that's about what her host segment was for that.
She had the eyes impaled on her nails and doesn't say, did you see that? Anything. There could have been a pun.
I know, yeah, right.
It could have been something.
Did she try to say something like the eyes have it, which is not related or means anything, but it has the word "I" in it. So I think.
Yeah, and it's like, but that's a different. Oh,
yeah. I was like,
kept going. Yeah.
Why?
So much. It's so much.
Yeah, right.
It's fascinating. So
I kept forgetting the host segments were coming.
Yes, it was a surprise every time.
Because why would you? Yeah, they were
unnecessary.
They were nothing.
Then I wasn't paying enough attention. Then I got our host confused with the face collector.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Mystery girl. This is the thing that I love about.
Oh my god, I can see why they all want her at the club. Did you see how she swung the cape this way and then she swung it that way, did it for 10 seconds and left?
Yeah.
Listen. Okay, so this whole bit reminded me, I was like, this is about a solid 5 to 10 minutes of a strip club scene. And then I'm like, none of them are like, I know, ladies, I'm sorry, but like, I'm like, what is happening? And then I was like, okay. I was like, oh, okay. Now I'm like, oh, I wrote the face peeling. Oh Lord, the face peeling. And then, and then I said, oh God, the strip club is back.
Oh yeah. I'd like to return to the face peeling.
The face peeling really was the more appealing part of that whole thing, if you'll pardon that phrasing.
Better than our horror host.
Yeah, he could have done that.
And he didn't even mean to.
No.
Bravo.
But thank you. I do my best. But yeah, it felt like there was an excuse. I love the fact that he didn't bother to name Mystery Girl, didn't give her some kind of Call her Visage. Call her something. Give her a name. Like Mystery Girl, really?
Mysteria.
Mysteria.
really?
I mean, that falls right in line, yeah.
Almost
Mysteria-
anything
You're
else.
right. It was right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when the cop runs in, he's literally just yelling, "Mystery Girl!" Like, what's?
I'm like, come on,
What?
So
dude.
that felt a little lazy.
Oh God. Oh God. Okay, so wait, where do
So
we
I
begin
guess
here?
yeah, the conceit of this one, it's called Change of Face. Ha. I added the haha. Surprisingly, it wasn't in there.
It's assumed in the title. You're supposed to
Yeah.
go, oh, clever.
So
What wonderful, Danzig.
Oh,
Wonderful.
what could that be
Oh, yeah.
about?
Oh,
and in fairness, because I don't want to dunk again completely on this thing. The title cards are kind of fun.
I
They're
did,
alright.
yeah. I like to.
Yeah,
They
title cards are
were
kinda
a little quick on this
Yeah.
one. I did have to back it up to see what the name was because it went by so fast.
Yeah.
I couldn't read it. In
But-
time,
and at that point, you
so-
were already in a
but
fugue state.
Yeah.
I-
What? Oh,
yeah.
wait, 1 second.
I was like, there's
Oh, we're back
Soul
into
had
it.
left
Oh,
his
God,
body.
yeah, I was like, oh no, it's a trilogy. Oh god.
There's 2 more of these?
The
Yeah.
longest 90 minutes.
Right?
This is a long 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It was every
They
minute
get-
of that 90
They
minutes.
get longer.
Somehow.
Like the first one felt like a half hour, the second one felt like an hour, and the third one felt like an entire day.
I feel
For
like I'm still living
real.
in it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it opens kind of in media res, woman on the street, and then is approached by a woman who walks up and takes her face, I guess, is the just
And our victim
Yeah.
acts like a totally normal person. Like, what? You can't have my face? Has she
Yeah.
moved? No.
no. She did not run.
Yeah.
Did
there.
nothing
No.
in actual
Fair-
reaction
She-
to this.
She does have pretty high platform, so maybe there was no chance she could
Look,
run.
I've seen people haul ass in
That-
those.
I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt.
I was impressed by the sporty spice shoes that she was wearing. That was pretty great. But
And I'll
Yeah.
give you this. I liked the makeup of the peeled face.
that was great. I agree.
Yeah.
The
They
makeup
put it in
effects in
camera
this
a
film.
lot because
Yeah.
they're proud of it.
They
the
should.
entire scene
Yeah.
is just her peeled face in the
And
foreground.
it was just me covering my
Yeah.
eyes.
Oh,
I'm
was
like,
great work.
sorry,
I'm like, are
Katie.
we done yet?
Poor KP.
But yeah.
No, because every scene is just slightly too long.
Yeah.
So no,
Oh
we
my
haven't moved
God.
away yet. Yeah.
But I did enjoy that instead of when the mystery girl told the girl that she was going to take her face, it was immediately in a negotiation rather than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, you
Yeah.
can't do that. I mean, literally, I'm going to.
Yeah, she has a
But you
knife.
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was odd. It was
Yeah.
like a Sunday morning at the public market
Yeah.
where you're like, I want to get this bushel of apples, but what about like $3? And they're like, no, we're gonna ask for $5.50. That's basically what we were watching.
Yeah. It was the
was.
energy.
It was-
That was the energy.
Right.
It was.
Yes, and also my delivery there was basically what we saw on screen.
Yeah,
So-
that was
for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna take your face now. Be like, no,
No,
thanks.
you're not. Yeah.
What
Pass.
is-
And then
It was-
then
yeah.
the face makeup was fantastic.
yeah.
The peeled off
Yeah.
face looked like a
Stop.
piece of Oscar Mayer bologna that you bit holes into.
Mhm.
Yeah, and she was
Mhm.
just
Whipping it
flinging
around.
it around,
Just-
and I'm like, please stop,
Uh-huh.
stop. Like,
Waving
I
it
know doesn't
around.
look that good, but like,
Yeah.
please stop.
Yeah.
Pl-
Yeah.
Just-
Plus, like, I thought, like, okay, but the face always looks the same when she has it on.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like
Yeah.
she gets somebody, because that would, oh, I see. Then she has someone else's face and she can move from town to town writing what once went wrong. No,
Nope.
it has
Nope.
nothing to do. She has a slight scar on one cheek.
Yeah.
So she,
Yeah,
all she can
again-
do is carve people's faces off for herself. It's the only solution.
Yes. When they showed her face, like her actual face exposed,
Yeah.
I was like, this is what you like. I think you
You're a
actually
horror movie.
just need a dermatologist,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not
It should have been
a serial
skull.
killer slant.
Yeah, or
Right?
like
Yeah.
you did all that nice prosthetic that she just doesn't have her own face anymore,
Yeah.
or something like
Right.
that. Like
Right?
Yeah.
she needs to have other people's faces.
Exposed
Literally
jawbone
anything
or
else.
something.
Right.
We're
Then she-
looking
she
for
goes-
more.
Then she goes to her day job, which is incredibly necessary and thematically relevant, and not just a reason for Glenn Danzig to do entire scenes in a lazy strip club.
I'm not a person that,
The
that frequents strip clubs.
laziest.
So I need to ask
Oh
the
my God.
question. Are all strip clubs lit like surgical theaters?
yeah.
Like,
Like Dunder Mifflin?
yeah,
Couldn't
Seriously.
tell you.
And
does anybody in the chat, do you know if most strip clubs are lit like Regis rental offices?
yeah, like a
How
you
would
could only get the brightest full daylight fluorescent bulbs.
I find
I'm like,
fluorescents are usually pretty forgiving for people too. So
The most
you
forgiving.
could save money. It could have been dark and dank with just a few gels, which he loves
Yeah.
so much. You could. Oh,
Could have done it. Now was the time, friend.
And
Yeah.
would have
Now
helped
was the
mask
time.
that there were 3 people in this club. Like, clearly, she also only worked like the Tuesday afternoon shift.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's the
Yep.
mid-afternoon shift when everyone's at work.
Right? It's like, what is happening here? And again, like my understanding of strip clubs is basically gleaned only from sitcoms and
Yeah.
Magic Mike. So I don't know. Like,
And
is that what?
Hustlers.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
remember when we were watching Magic Mike XXL? Hey, do you remember that Joy?
that was joyful. That was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
One
We're
of
smiling all the time.
for my Danzig fans listening, my fanzigs, one of the 3 patrons, one of the 3 patrons at the strip club was London May, drummer for Sam Hain. That's right, Sam Hain, not Samhain.
You have to
say that again.
every time.
Yep.
I'm really glad
Yeah.
you mentioned it. 'cause
Disclaimer.
When I looked it up, I was
it's
like,
important.
how do you pronounce that?
Because Matt knows how to pronounce it. It's important that you know that this is Danzig's choice.
This is yes, yeah. Sam
What's
Hain,
also
pretty good band.
what's also rough about the strip sequences, right? I mean, I don't think they're the best strippers, but they seem they're not even strippers. They're like pole dancers. Like there's
Yeah.
pasties. We're not
Right.
oddly enough full eye boobs. Pasties here.
Mhm.
But like they're at least kind of going through the motions of like a pole dance. So when Mystery Girl has her featured number, it's very hard not to compare that again, I don't know if it's the actress, it could be the direction. I don't want to blame her for this. But she like strolls out lazily in like a little face cover and an entire cape. I did like the skull pasties, very classy.
I
But
thought so.
the rest of it is like her entire act because it's built up like she's so amazing. You know, like she's a star. They all, she moves like her arms a couple times with the cape, does a
Yep.
turn, and then just leaves.
Yeah.
Like
This-
that's like the extent of her erotic magnetism.
Yeah, it's really something to behold.
Yeah.
I
also
was like, maybe don't have that in there. Why
Yeah,
is
no.
she a pole dancer?
maybe
Yeah.
skip it. Maybe.
Maybe
And
skip it.
Also-
the announcer at the strip club, I appreciate that they also made the choice to only film him from the bottom of his nose to the bottom of his
Yeah,
chin.
Right there. Right
Well,
there.
that way you
With
could
better
see,
lighting than the rest of the club. Like they had like a nice turquoise gel on
Yeah.
his mouth,
Good for him.
which is
Yeah,
all you saw.
You could see the leftovers of craft service in there as he yelled
Yeah,
the women's
it
names.
was
It was fantastic.
real strange.
Also, another musical point I would like to make. One of my favorite songs in the film, when the first dancer is up, is the shittiest shit riff I've ever heard in my entire life. Like it should have been in a truck commercial. It was one of the top 5 worst songs I've ever heard in my life. But then when Mystery Girl comes out, you get a Glenn Danzig song. That is Danzig's
Oh,
song himself.
I
Was
had,
it
I
really
had a
trying to, like-
feeling. I had
And
a
it
feeling.
was because
I mean,
I feel like he put his heart and soul behind this vignette and had to put Danzig up for Mr. Girl's song.
Yeah.
That is also bargain basement Danzig, by the way.
well, I mean, he
That
really
is-
spread himself thin on this
Yeah.
project.
So
you know.
if you've seen Multiplicity and like the copy of the copy is never as good as
He's
the original.
copy of the copy.
That Danzig song is the copy of a copy of another good Danzig song.
Ow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like
Also,
how, like, okay, yeah.
solid multiplicity reference. Like,
Thank you.
Yeah,
kudos for that.
bravo. Yeah.
It's a cornerstone.
It's
So-
hard for us to talk about this more because the whole story is, and then she takes a face, and then she dances, and then she takes a face, and then she dances. Oh, and there's some police that I think are supposed to be funny.
He's like, there's naked girl. Yeah, she's like, you can't go back there. There's naked girls back there, and then there are naked girls out here too. It's a strip club.
Wah wah wah.
And
I'm
I
like, what?
love his I'm a tough detective voice.
Yeah, he was really
There's girls out here. I was like, your voice is just going to be destroyed after the 2.5 hours of filming this entire sequence.
After the Popeye voice that you're here doing for whatever reason.
It was so weird. It didn't make any sense.
No.
Didn't need to happen, but it did, and he was committed. The whole
committed
time
was the word I was going to use.
Yes.
He was in it.
100%. He was there for it.
Yeah, and then 6 months later, something happened. I don't know what. She's still dancing at the same club under the same name. Wouldn't they have found her eventually?
You would think. Well, I mean, if we've learned anything from the first vignette, in this universe, the police are useless.
Yep. I think it's supposed to be a different club because, they gave her a different name. It was almost like Mystery Girl. It wasn't a hard one to discover if you were really looking for her, but so
might not be the best name to go under if you're trying to hide.
No.
So, the first of our 2 stories where something happens, it happens some more, it happens more and more and more, and then it continues to happen. The end.
Exactly. It's got a through line of lather, rinse, repeat. Instead of Joseph Campbell, he used a shampoo bottle.
And the next one literally is lather, rinse, and repeat.
Yeah. Now,
true.
One last thing before we move on to the third one, I do want to point out that we had a spot a wrestler sighting in this vignette. KP, did you catch him?
Oh no, I was probably going like this. I am probably had my eyes covered, or I was trying to get a cup of water to save from the face peeling.
Really 2 names. The third victim that had her face peeled off was TV's Courtney Stoughton.
Oh, that's right. She was in this one. Because I remember seeing her name in the opening credits.
Yeah.
And I was like, Courtney Stoughton. I know that name for some reason.
So I think it's they.
Yeah, they. Yep. So they got their face peeled off.
I mean, listen, like none of their fault what happened. Oh my God, they're like 15 or something.
No.
I you know what? I hope, please, Danzig, have a good set. This is what I wish for all of this. Everyone got a check and had a good time.
I'm willing to bet, based on what I've seen from that. So. Yeah. And also, imagine the stories you have walking away from a movie made by Danzig. Also, the professional wrestler, the guy working the counter when the cop went into the strip club, was professional wrestler Sean Waltman. You would know as the 1-2-3 Kid or X-Pac.
Oh my God, that was X-Pac?
Yes.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
Yep.
Don't make me want to go back and see this.
No, save yourself, Meg.
Oh my, I haven't heard that name.
Yep.
Forever.
He popped up on the screen, and I went...
It was the Attitude Era.
It was a different time.
So long ago, right?
Is that X-Pac? Is that 6? What is that?
When the Generation X meant something.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was like in 6th grade, 5th grade at that time.
Yeah. That sounds
right. God. Okay, good. He got a check too.
He got a check.
Everybody.
He got paid, as far as I know. So those are all our cameo sightings for the second vignette.
Well spotted, man.
Face Off 2.
I have to be honest. My eyes were not going to recognize people. Maybe part of me was like, it's their own business if they're in this film. They don't need me to recognize them.
There's a reason, and
they're just trying to make a living.
Yeah, there are certain things that kept me in this movie, and it was spot people that look familiar. And just try to grasp onto anything I can as it goes by.
Anchors.
Yeah. Sometimes more successful than others. Speaking of, moving on to our third interminable vignette of our trilogy.
Yeah. I did spend this entire sequence trying to continuously convince myself that the Contessa was not just low rent Charlize Theron.
But
because
also,
she kind of made the same faces and had the same eyes, and every time I was like, is this when you were in Snow White? I feel like they Danzig saw that and he was like, what if let's go with me on this. Took that but worse and then just was also didn't make any sense.
Theatrical
And here we are.
fulfillment in Romania. Boom.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
The sequence
yeah.
was so weird. Nothing happened.
I just went on
No.
and for me, it was.
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
Meg. I was
no.
like,
Yeah. I'm sorry. This is what it's done to us.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So rhythm wise for a story, you think you would be leading up to the bone tub full of blood. That should be like your last image.
Right.
Like that it is like the first.
he just,
I mean, it's cool. Yeah, I'm
he's
sure.
like, you haven't
I'm
seen
sure,
boobs in a
yeah.
while. Have at it.
Right. And the prop is cool. If someone told me that it was in
Totally.
Danzig's bathroom right now, I would believe you. But
100%.
that's a closer, not an opener.
But he was so excited about the way it looked, you had to get it on
Yeah.
screen. Also, it probably
He's like, "Let's
cost
do
more
it
than
now."
like $5, so you got to get it on screen as much as you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Ah.
The man is from New Jersey. He knows in economics. You got to make sure.
Okay, so there's a part where there two things that like I laughed really hard. How long she was looking in the mirror for. I think she was waiting for him to say
Oh.
cut several times.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
there was a part where she like leaned back and I think she thought she was done. And then
Yep.
she leaned back in
Yep.
and I was like, fuck,
Yep.
not anymore.
Yes.
sis."
Yes. And it was the same move over and over again.
Yeah.
It was
the hands.
pose
Yes.
to the right and then
Yes.
lean into the mirror
Yeah.
and then back out
Mhm.
and then back and then I literally I was watching it and like internally screaming because I needed it to
yeah.
end so
yeah, he just
badly.
needed to edit.
And then
Yeah.
it just stopped. Like there wasn't even like
yeah.
Yeah.
a
She
resolution
said, like,
with
great
even
or whatever.
that. And it
No.
was like
Yeah.
cut.
I
Yep.
felt like she'll find a wrinkle. She'll find out why she has to keep doing
Yes.
this. Like,
Yeah,
nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
Nothing.
No.
And then the other part that I laughed at really hard is when the girl's upside down, and so she cuts
Oh.
her neck, and then the blood is pointing like off to the
Yep.
the blood is pointing like straight, but the contrast is off
Yep.
to the left, and like
Yep.
she opens her mouth expecting the blood to start shooting into her.
I think it's like
Totally
listen,
misses.
Uh-huh.
we can only set this rig up once. Okay.
Yeah, once and fucked it up the first time, and that was it. You had to make it
Love
work.
And she's like, I guess I move. And then
Yeah,
like
and
the
then
poor
she just, like-
actress who's upside down,
say,
like she
right?
moved after she was very dead.
Yeah.
And
It-
like but like
we all would.
not even like a little bit like full neck. Like
Yeah, she
Yeah.
did.
the rig
She-
is
poor
uncomfortable.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Gotta
and it's
hurt, yeah.
running up your nose. I was like,
Yeah.
you poor thing.
Nobody was having a good time there because,
Like the glass onion hot sauce, but a shit
Yes.
ton of fake blood, and it's pressurized.
yes.
Yeah.
And that
Oh
went
my
on
God.
too. Like the rig for that was a little long, where I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
good
He
God!"
wanted every second of that effect on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's still more in there. Keep pushing. Keep
Yeah.
pumping it. Keep going. Keep going.
Yep.
Oh my
He
God.
he just did this for the arterial spray. Is that what we're kind of figuring here? Because I
Well,
feel like because there was
there's
that
two. He does
that-
it twice.
that first
Twice.
one is the one that cracked me up.
Yeah.
Was when it was Kansas Bowling is the one that was upside down. She was also in Christmas Bloody Christmas. And also she was the star of one of my favorite films of the recent few years, Psycho Ape. Psycho Ape.
I like that you repeated it again in
Sure.
case we had misheard it.
Because there was like silence.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, you
I was
guys it was
taking
like,
it in.
No, we
I
heard
was
it.
Get
having
excited.
sleepy time tea,
I
and
was-
I'm taking it in.
I was trying to picture her in it. I can't picture. I'll look her up after this. I can't picture her in that.
She was.
But I mean, because
Yeah.
but
He got distracted by the Psycho Ape. I get it.
by
You know what? Our brains are already so addled at this point that you threw in a concept of Psycho Ape and we shut down.
yeah, I was like,
This
I
is
don't
what's in here all the time.
Just
I guess-
circling around.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh,
And
our
this
stream ended.
oh no. Are we
Oh,
still
maybe not.
recording?
It says we're still
It
live.
says
Oh, okay.
live, yeah.
We're
Okay.
still here.
Oh, the
Oh,
chat
well,
just went
that
away.
was-
That was weird.
That was close. Yeah, we're still going.
Sorry, folks, we're
on
still
Twi-
going.
I got Twitch open here on
Okay,
my
cool.
second monitor. Ooh.
Ah.
Ooh, second mod. Look at how fancy you are.
Yeah. Thanks,
Um,
everybody. Yeah, our chat says we exist.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yay!
Thank you, chat, for
Oh my
being
God.
here.
Saying Psycho Ape 3 times, did that do this?
Yes. I believe there's a hidden code in here.
No. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Be sending a message to Addison afterwards to
Behind.
tell him that there's a thing. The Twitch boots you if you say Psycho Ape 3 times. So really enjoy that.
All right, no more, no more. Let's not try
They're
for
worried-
6.
Yep.
Like,
They're
If I-
worried about hot tub streams when it
Uh.
turns out just don't say Psycho Ape too many times.
If we do it one more time, there's going to be a Psycho Ape that walks behind me.
yo, enough. Both Meg and Matt done because you're both at 2.
Yeah, you
We're feeding off each other
in
again.
our eye. Yep.
This
It's
is
happening.
oh boy.
So yeah, anything to not talk about this version of this, there's this vignette. So yeah, the arterial
We're
spray
trying to
in this
crash
one-
our live stream so we don't have to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
This damn segment. Oh crap! I got
So
this.
what
Don't
I
worry, everybody.
wrote here, I said this movie is the equivalent of those terrible sex scene writing awards. Like, I don't know if you've ever there's like a award for writing a terrible sex scene. And that's
Yeah.
what this movie made me think of. Like, you know, where it's like she breasted boobily down the stairs. That's what I was
That's
witnessing
yes.
in film form. Like,
Breasted,
I'm
boobily, and
guessing-
bloodily, the motion picture.
Yeah, that was probably written in the stage directions for this movie.
yes. Yes.
Yeah, as my
Boobily.
my letterboxed review says, it's very short and sweet, but there's campy horror and there's bad movies. This is not campy horror.
Eh,
Yeah, I can't really argue with that.
I was like, it's not. I wish it was campy.
But
But
and this is the crux of Danzig. This might be me trying to pull a button on it. So let me ask: do we have anything more to say about arterial spray, the motion picture in this one?
No, I
I
think I
just-
covered it.
Okay.
yeah,
Like-
just
So-
for
that,
me.
that sequence
Yeah.
was just how do we make this
Yeah.
long enough to have a 90-minute runtime?
yeah.
Put her in the bath and let her look at her hands some more.
For
And there's a
me-
lot of gesturing in this
There's a lot of
sequence.
this. For me, this one suffers the most from what I feel like the entire movie does, which is all of these are really cool pinup ideas.
Yeah.
They should be an image in a comic book,
Right.
and instead they're all 30-minute segments.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
I'll say even reading some of the story, like, got through about 4 to 5 issues, and then after, like, when I got to the 5th issue, I was just kind of like scrolling because by that point in time I had seen things I wish I hadn't seen.
That sums up Verotika comics. Yes.
Yeah, where I was like,
Mhm.
okay, like, I don't, and I know women were writing for it, but like some of it just reads where I'm like, if I was like 12 or 10 and I'm like, oh, I want to read something I'm not supposed to be reading that's naughty and violent, that's what you go and you pick up. Like, as an adult, I'm like,
Yeah.
this is not, it's not good. Like,
It has that
Mm.
12-year-old sensibility.
yeah, like that's what it felt like, more so reading through some of those. And also, I'm like, granted, it's like from it was like 94, 95, or where those first couple of issues are from. So it's like there was a really, like, some of the segments I was like, oh dear God. Like, like one girl's trying to kill, she like she wants to go kill this guy, but she doesn't know, so she's like luring him into bed so that she can like she ties him up and then like gives him AIDS. Like, she cuts,
Wait, what?
yes, like she
Yeah.
cuts her stomach and then cuts his to do the blood
Ah,
transfusion.
Good
Yeah, so
lord.
like things like where it's
Oh.
very like
Edgelordy.
hyper violent. Yes, exactly. And very
Edgelord-
like
yep,
yeah, where, and I'm like, okay, it's been decades at this point, and clearly the brain cells have not developed any further on some of this.
And yeah, and honestly, KP, that was kind of where I wanted to kind of to tie it all in, is that Danzig and the Misfits and all that, it was kind of fun because you thought they were in on the joke. And I think as the years go by, we learn that Glenn maybe wasn't in on the joke as much. This is just the stuff he really liked.
Yeah.
Which could be. I mean,
Which-
it would be
Yeah.
You do you.
logical. Because like
I
that.
saw-
And I love a good anthology.
Mm.
Like I love them. And I was so excited.
We've
I was like,
shown
oh, this
good
is an
ones.
anthology.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And there's elements in these where like I feel like each one could be a good story if someone else helped write them.
Right.
Where they just never come
Yeah.
together.
The-
And we like
Yeah.
that we really see it in the third one where nothing really happens.
Nothing
There's
happens.
no point to the story
Nothing
other than
happens.
this woman is gesturing a lot.
Very music video like vibes.
Yeah.
We're like,
Yeah.
we don't need words, we don't need a narrative. I'm like, this cuts
Like,
us
oh,
down to
yeah.
2.5, 3 minutes, and you got a music video, bud.
Yeah. Oh, is she gonna
Yeah.
get caught? No. Oh, is this like gonna go over time and then she has to keep doing? No. Apparently, she just kills all the virgins over a weekend. Like she really
Yeah.
like luxuriates.
And then she talks to a wolf because game recognized game.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
was
That's
so weird. That was like
hello.
so out of the blue.
The wolf's like, I'm sorry. Are you talking to me?
The wolf's like, oh
Nobody
hell
else is
no, you
around
that
here."
crazy bitch. I'm not
No,
getting
no,
involved
no,
with
no.
you. No,
Nah.
no. I
We
eat
do
for
do not
survival.
endorse.
You think your skin is tingling? No, different. We're
It's
different. We're not the same.
tingling.
He really
It's
could have
not
just
underneath.
put 2 minutes of that on loop and then just put, ever heard of Countess of Bathory just running at the bottom, and it would have been the same effect.
Yeah, I get it, Glenn. Yeah, it's a well known kind of gothic story. You could have told
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Could've.
I did see somebody in the chat earlier bring up Danzig's library.
Oh yes. Let's
so
talk about this.
If you get the chance on YouTube, so I don't remember if it was in real life or on one of these shows, but I started talking about how when bands got big, they put out VHS tapes with their music videos, and then like interstitials was stuff that the band did. And Danzig was no exception. He put out with the release of Danzig 1, I think it was. He put out a video with a couple music videos on it for like Mother and Twist of Cain, and then like each of the guys in the band had like a little vignette. So like Chuck Biscuits, who was the drummer, talked about monster cereals. John Christ, the guitar player, yeah, I know, showed you how to play like a blues riff, and then Danzig. So there's, if you look on YouTube, I think it's Danzig discusses his library.
I've put the link in chat for those following along now, which
Awesome.
means you should follow us live when you get a chance.
Yes.
I'll put it in the show notes too. No worries.
We'll put it in the show notes too.
Don't worry, we don't want you to
This
miss
is
out.
important. This is important. You should see this. You
It's
should
gonna
all
be my
see
bedtime
this.
story tonight.
I was going
Yeah.
to bring it into our stream tonight, but I watched it and I said, I don't really want to do that. Because the first book he talks about is about lycanthropy. The second one is Nazism and the Occult, a book that he says belongs
yeah.
in every child's library. And I went,
Oh, Glenn, buddy,
this was
Glenn, no.
Thank
this
God
was
he's
like,
making movies and music.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just
Let's keep
need
him
some sort of
focused.
way where I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
be just busy.
exactly.
we
Um,
have to
You
keep Glenn Danzig
occupied.
busy.
Stay
Yeah.
busy.
But this is the thing. At the time, we thought it was Glenn
A
just
bit.
being goofy. We thought it was a bit. Chuck Biscuits is talking about Booberry about 5 minutes later. This can't be on the level. Awesome. I'm afraid 20 years later, 30 years later, it was 100% on the level.
Yeah.
So I think, there's a certain amount of retro kitsch to Danzig's whole bit. This isn't it. This is just Danzig's creepy id, I guess, or his own weird sexual frustrations and predilections put in 90 minutes for us to watch together.
We really learned a lot about him. A
We did.
lot.
We did.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's kind of pull in here.
The exhaustion in our voices.
I feel like this is going to tie it into a nice bow. 90 minutes later, after watching Veronica, and an hour into us talking about it, I started this asking with what you know about Glenn Danzig. Let's end it with what do you know now about Glenn Danzig?
Bravo.
He's a boob man, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He enjoys a well-lit strip club.
He
Yeah.
wants to see it all.
I don't want to miss anything.
I did appreciate that Mystery Girl's bullet wounds were in full view
Oh my god!
in
that's
the club
right.
6 months later.
Yes.
Oh.
she was like,
oh.
These wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
had
I'm not
she
going to
had-
put my cape over those.
She had bullet holes where folks in the early 2000s had sparrow tattoos on their hips. Or
Wow.
nautical stars, depending on which work tour you went to.
Wow. Oh god. Oh my god. Yeah, he likes boobs. He likes blood.
Mhm.
Not a fan of narrative.
No, can't be
No.
fucked with narrative.
And
Mhm.
oh, I know this. He likes when you zoom in, then you zoom out, and then you zoom in again.
He does the Dr. Tongue. Holy shit.
Right? On multiple occasions. And I think he thinks it's like important. Like, no, this is our art. And I don't know how to process that.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
like Wayne's World? Whoa! Like
Basically,
no.
yes. The
You
slow
slow it
version
down
of
and
that.
that's what it I was
Yeah.
like, we're going back in.
Art.
Okay, did we miss something? No, we didn't. We missed nothing. It's the exact same thing.
Nope. Just
Mwah,
zooming
mwah.
in.
Just
Yeah.
zooming in.
Also
I think
from
maybe he got bored. And he
Yeah.
was like, "Wah, well,
Could be.
should I run the camera? I don't think you should. I'm just going to run this."
And then he just shakes a little bit, and then he keeps the
Right?
shot.
Did you notice that? Like
I
at
did.
least, like sometimes, like, did someone nudge the camera because it shakes?
I'm
And he
pretty
tucked it
sure.
in.
Yes, because in the face cutting vignette, the one time when like the victim is on the floor, I can't remember which victim it was. 'Cause,
Yeah. Went
um,
on a bit.
and
There's
then
three, who knows?
Mystery Girl is going in, and they're like real close on the face,
Yeah.
and the camera shakes, and I was like, clearly the cameraman was also operating the knife. And
Yes.
like had the camera in one hand and the knife in the other, and was like, "Ugh. No, I think I got it."
He's cutting
It's fine.
Thanksgiving dinner. Like
Oh,
He's like, "I'll
God,
just run the stabilization on iMovie when we're done, and it'll be
It's-
fine."
I
And then
I just-
forgot.
oh whoops.
It was like, "Oh, I
all
gotta
the-
cut
all
and
the
film."
money went into those eye nipples and the
Yeah.
bone blood bath. There was not a penny left for another shot.
And Spider Creature. Don't forget Spider Creature, because
And
Spider
Spider-
Creature
You're
was
right.
kind of
That's-
cool.
Yeah.
He's
That's
apparently
genuinely good.
albino, the albino spider.
Oh,
That
like
is-
the
there's
Ohio
no
State
others.
University?
I
Yes.
thought he was the net breaker.
Neckbreaker.
The neck breaker. Sorry.
Man.
Telling you, wrestling move. It's a
Yeah.
Between that and Kate Bush,
Ah,
Yeah,
Kate Bush.
learning how to pronounce things the best way possible. Thanks,
Next
cinema.
episode, all bad French accents, everybody.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Also, Le Neckbreaker, isn't that the name of the steak place in Epcot?
God damn it!
Aaron, are you still there to confirm?
Uh, they
Listen,
may have
it's called
jumped ship.
Yeah,
It's called Le
they
Cellier,
said enough.
and I buttered my bread with bone marrow in that restaurant.
It's a very Danzig
I'm
thing to
never
do.
going back. I'm never
Very
going
Danzig
back.
thing to do.
That's
Right?
the lost fourth
It-
vignette.
You know, that is the most Danzig restaurant in Epcot. You're literally in a basement. There's no light in there, and you're eating giant chunks of meat, sometimes with knives stabbed in them.
Scraping
That's
bone marrow out and
true.
dragging it across bread.
Oh
One
God!
of
I gotta
the-
go. I
Metal.
gotta go back.
Have
I gotta
brought
go
him in.
Pretty
back.
metal.
One of the stories in the comics is about a guy that's obsessed with like bones. He buys the X-ray glasses and like he gets turned on by like the female bones.
Female.
And he can tell that they're female. He goes to a garage. The guy goes to a garage sale. Okay.
I don't like.
Keep up
where
with
this-
me. Keep up
Oh,
with me.
okay.
He goes to a garage sale, and then he's like, "There's like a a skeleton, like piles of bones," but he knows they're lady bones, and so he buys them for like to bring them home, and he puts up the display. And then his wife gets upset and leaves him. Like, it's a whole thing.
What?
Then
I wasn't expecting that twist. His wife.
Yeah,
that
because
was
like,
the most shocking part.
Right?
yeah, he was with her because she was like she had an eating disorder, but then she
was
started
full of
to
bones.
she started to get healthier, and then he wasn't about that
Oh.
life. So then he
Oh,
found the bones. He puts
Oh,
the
these
bones
guys.
together, and then the wife is like,
Oh.
"What are you doing?" Peace, leaves him,
What the
and
fuck?
then he becomes so obsessed with this skeleton that he doesn't go to work anymore, doesn't eat. He's like fervently writing. He's like, "This is the last letter I'm gonna write," and then I can't remember. I think he just dies like with the
And then
with
and
the
then he has
skeleton.
bones.
and then they become bones together. No,
And then he is turned on by his own
Wow.
bones.
It's
But
kind
he's
of
a
bones.
ghost now.
no,
He
but
can't do anything about it.
No.
only
he's-
lady bones. He
Right.
doesn't like.
Oh no!
It's not all bones,
He wouldn't like
specifically
his own,
female
yes.
bones, because
Oh, so
only
he
a plebe, only like a plebe couldn't tell the difference.
Oh no! I'm stuck hunting my own bones, and they're disgusting men bones, and I am French.
Probably French for no
sacre
reason.
bleu.
Could be
What?
because
Yeah.
the stories all happen in France.
Yeah. Why are they speaking in French accents? Because
set
it's in Paris.
France. Obvious.
Oh, Jesus!
So
That's
Yes.
just
Broken.
Yes, yes,
like
yes.
Logical.
bones. Broken like bones. Everybody, us.
so you know what's not taking place in Paris? The Anomaly Film Festival. It's happening right here in beautiful Rochester, New York at the Historic Little Theater, November 8th through 12th, 2023. Now, I know what you said. You've been doing this for 5 years. It's usually 4 days. Guess what? Now it's 5. We have
Yeah.
so much goodness to show you. We had to put in another day.
We saw one Danzig
Yeah.
movie, and we went crazy. Another day. We must have another day for bones.
We, yeah,
Which is why we have a skeleton lounge.
this is true.
Yes.
You're horny for bones.
We did have a fantastic.
Yes.
I shouldn't
Fantastic.
say that. Please, I'm not going to yuck your yum. But if you're horny for bones, please don't go to our skeleton lounge.
Yeah, these are wholesome bones.
These are wholesome
Yeah.
bones.
They're nice. They're nice little skeletons.
So
Just doing their thing. Leave our skeletons alone.
come for the movies. Don't come at the bones.
Oh God. Mm.
What I said
Yeah.
at. I said at.
Yeah.
I didn't say on. I was
No.
being.
Oh. No. What has happened to us?
I was trying to have some sort of restraint. So I should have just said on. I should have just said on.
I mean,
It was
I don't know why.
I don't either.
It's
Dan.
us. Why would you?
Yeah,
You
I
know
don't
what?
either.
I feel
We're
like
gonna force the joke to show up
I'm
eventually.
being too
Yeah.
hard on the bones. Just let the bones. Okay. KP, would you like to join?
No.
Too hard on the bones.
Thank you for being rational.
The
Thank
brain
you.
is shutting down. So it's like
It's
KP just gonna have a little more sleepy time tea.
we have officially hit that point. I think we
Oh,
need to wrap
God.
this one up. So November 8th through 12th, AnomalyFilmFest.com, Anomaly Film Fest on all of the social medias. Keep an eye out. Tickets on sale soon. Passes on sale soon, I should say. So keep an eye out, and you can get your tickets early so you can come and hang out with us for 5 full days.
Woohoo.
Who knows what you're going to see?
yeah.
We've already gotten submissions. Submissions are open, by the way, on Film Freeway. If you have something you've made, please feel free to submit it to us. We'll take a look, and yeah, there's a good chance you'd end up in the festival. We've got a bunch of really good entries so far, but love to see what you're making.
Yeah.
Bonus
I know
points for
what you're
French
saying.
accents.
I know what you're
Yeah,
saying.
everything in the French accent.
Yeah.
yes.
You just heard us bust on a movie for an hour.
Yeah.
Are we going to be fair to your movie? Absolutely.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you know you're
This
not
is
going
actually
Danzig.
kind of a rarity for us.
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
go
if you
this
go
hard on a
back,
film.
go our last episode is Magic Mike XXL, and we loved that movie.
Love it.
And at the end of this, I don't think we we probably completely hated this, but there are a few things that we're like, hey, well, I guess that was kind of cool.
I mean, I'm not angry I saw it. I mean,
Right.
fair enough. I've pickled my brain pretty hard. Like I've done damage.
Yeah.
But I've been angry at watching films, and I wasn't angry at the end. I was confused and
Yeah.
a little worried about Glenn.
Yeah.
But not angry.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, this was just confusion. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I only got angry when the Contessa was in the mirror for too long.
Right.
That
The first
literally
whole minute. Yeah.
drove me so crazy. God, it made me so mad. That I
And
was
Meg-
mad at. The rest of it, I was just confused.
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
you brought up
Huh.
before, Meg, his next movie is a vampire western. That might be more fun. That might be something to check out.
knows?
So
And a friend of the festival, Devin Sawa, is in it. He
Yeah.
is the lead. I'll put that in the notes too. It's like something in the wild. It's a long title, which of course it is,
yeah, it's oh God. Let
right?
me see. I'll see if I can find it really quick. And then
I
we'll
was like,
end
it's
this.
Dusty Bottoms and the Wild West Vampires. It's literally something like that.
Close. Death Rider in the House of Vampires.
See, I was
You were
like
so close.
50% there.
Yeah.
That is really good. Yeah, that
No.
you were
Thank
so,
you.
like
And
Yes,
I
Sam
will
does.
remember your title more than I'll remember the actual title, Meg.
Devin Sawa plays the
Thank you, chat, for bringing in the
yeah.
title and fixing my brain issues.
Devin Sawa plays the titular Death Rider.
Yeah.
Okay, he is Death
Danny
Rider.
Trejo's in it.
Danny Trejo's in it. Star of the first vignette, Dejet, is Mina
Oh.
Bell. And Glenn himself makes an appearance.
I saw that he was a vampire in the trailer.
Uh-huh. And his character's name? Bad Bathory. So
Every name. If you watch the trailer, they put up the character names because I think he's very proud of these character names.
yeah.
They're all about if you were 12 and writing a vampire story, what you would name your vampires. It's kind of brilliant in a weird way.
This is
I
I
mean,
mean,
this is
I
what
would
we're
watch
gonna
it.
do.
So
Yeah.
We'll watch it.
yeah.
We'll watch it. Of course we will.
Of course.
So
I
I-
legit looked up where I could stream it after I finished watching this.
it's not out yet. I'm heartbroken by that.
I know.
So-
I was a little sad. So that's where I am at the end of this film.
So yeah, one day you will hear Death Riders in the House of Vampires, I think, right?
Even,
From
even
us.
if it's just you and me.
Even if it's just me and Meg.
Listen, I'll come back. I'll
Um,
come back. I'll have so many questions, but I'll come back.
And
Thank you.
one
Ride or
last
die.
one last thing on our way out the door. We'll be back again soon, and it's something that Meg's been waiting to do, I think, since the inception of the festival.
Yeah.
We're doing a Breen.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Finally, my plans have come to fruition. 5 years of a film festival. I've done this and privately have indoctrinated several of my friends into.
It's true.
God,
Yes.
cult is a strong word, but an appreciation society, the Breen Appreciation Society. Have I made prayer cards and candles? Yes. Yes, I have. But it's only out of appreciation for a truly unique artist, a true auteur.
I feel like I might have been one of the charter members of the cult if I think about it. So
Oh yeah. No, I
Yeah.
remember that night.
yeah,
You're welcome.
yeah, I haven't stopped thinking about it since, which is
Yeah. See?
Something.
It's a gift. I
So-
am but the messenger. And you need to hear this message.
KP. Dan, you haven't been Breenified yet, have you?
No.
Oh boy,
No. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I
boy.
feel like now we've been putting it off in
yeah.
anticipation of this future episode.
So
Yeah.
I'm so happy to see what you'll be like after.
you will leave
Yeah,
changed.
It's going to be Meg sitting in front of the TV watching our
Uh-huh.
reactions.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Doing
Oh
the
yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio, yeah.
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 Mhm.
Okay.
All right, everybody.
I'm so excited.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for those folks who stayed through the stream. Keep an
Thank
eye out.
you.
We'll do more of
Thanks.
these for sure. This was a lot of fun. We'll see
Yeah.
everybody again soon, and see you in real life at the festival. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been a presentation of the Lunchador Podcast Network.